Hi guys, so welcome to my YouTube channel. It's been a while since I uploaded the video, I've been busy actually. But this particular video is something very interesting. The reason why it is interesting is because it's one of the things that I do, and I can say contribute to 90% of my success rate, and that is the fact that I use support and supply and demand. That you call it, some people call it resistance and support in a very strategic way, very interesting way, which is not usually seen online, because I've actually watched a lot of forex trader videos and I have seen how they draw support and resistance. But in this particular video, I show you how I do it and why it is actually very powerful. So we advise that you watch this video to the end so that you can learn the secret. So I will take you to my computer screen now. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe, please at least like this video because of the effort put in. So thank you, and let's move to my computer screen now. All right. Okay, so we are on my computer screen, and let me show you something. Like I said in the introduction part of the video, okay, you don't really need anything complicated to actually trade any of these markets. With simple support and resistance and understanding where the market is actually going. Okay, when I say when the market is actually going, I'm not talking about you identifying higher highs or lower lows on your charts like this alone. I'm talking about where the investors are looking at. Where are they trying to what are they trying to do? Are they trying to buy? Are they trying to sell? That's what I'm talking about. And this goes beyond charts, which I'm also going to talk about in this video. Okay, but first of all, when you want to understand where to mark your support and resistance, okay, you don't just draw support and resistance on your chart. If you look at my chart, you will see that it is actually very clean. You hardly see any unnecessary line. As you can see, there is no unnecessary line except key areas that I'm looking at, or where you can see this area. This is just the support I mark, support. I didn't mark line anyhow on the chart. Okay, you won't see any line like that on my chart. Okay, so what do I do when it comes to support and resistance? That doesn't mean, okay, what do I do? How do I mark my support and resistance? What do I look out for? First of all, you need to come to higher time frame to first of all identify the direction of the trend. Okay, so in this case, if you come to, let's just start with weekly time frame. Okay, and if you look at weekly time frame, you see the market is on a what? On a high. Is actually on higher highs, is actually in an uptrend. Okay, so when you come to that place, weekly time frame, basically you want to map your recent the highest point of your what's it called, of the market. Okay, as at the time of me marking, this was the highest point. That is when the tariff of the thing started happening, the fear of tariff, when the tariff started coming in, that was when all this particular for start from it begins from here. So where the market got to, this is the recent high and this is the recent low. So you want to mark that part. So this, within this distance, is where you'll be looking at to trade. And because the market has been in an uptrend, you also want to consider looking for buy opportunities since the market is bouncing from here. So you should expect some kind of higher highs here before a pullback, and then you continue just like the way it has been doing here. Right? So when you mark the recent resistance, you mark the recent support, what you need to do is then drop down to a much lower time frame, which is, in this my case, I will drop to daily. Okay, so when you drop to daily time frame, what you want to look out for now is going to be between this resistance and this support. So if you look at what I do here, okay, when the market pull back here, okay, when the market, you see there is a small pullback here. Okay, when the market pull back here, this is a support for me. I took a trade there. You see where the market pull back here, it formed another support, another sit point here. Okay, but the support was marked on 4 hour. Okay, you see a pullback here. I marked the support. That was when I took this entry. There's another pullback here. That was when I took the entry. So in this case, if you want to take another entry here, it's going to be at this pullback here. Okay, but I didn't take this trade. Oh, I don't know why. So let's go to 4 hours so that we can better see and mark the support and resistance. Okay, so if you look at it here, okay, so you see after this pullback, I took my entry here, okay, and uh okay, now let me tell you something here. Okay, here, when the market goes come back to form a support here, okay, then comes to retest it again, and then the market break through and then close back inside. That was when I closed back into this support. That was when I took a buy position. However, my taking a buy position here is not only influenced by charts or this technical view, it's also influenced by news, which I'm going to get to in a moment. Okay, then the market rally up and then start consolidating here. Okay, it came back, touched this point, move up, touch this point again, came back, touch this point again. That was when I took an entry again. All right, so then the market rally up and then form this bottom here. Okay, from this bottom, I think this retracement is the reason I got out, not that I got out from here. I think this retracement is the reason I got out from this trade. So, and then the market started rallying up. Now, if you look at the chart, you see that my way of looking at the before we continue with the video, I want to say something quickly. You see, trading is very complex in the sense that it comprises a lot of things. There are so many things you need to master, like risk management, psychology, fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and even the fundamental and technical analysis are very deeper than you think. And the most important part, which has to do with psychology and risk management, are very, very important. So for you to master all these things, understand all these things, because these are the things that determine determine if you are going to be successful in this field. So for you to determine or for you to master all these things comprehensively and become a master yourself, you will probably have to take a comprehensive course. Okay, so if you intend to take my course, I will leave the link in the description. So check the description and take the course. If you finish this course, I believe you should be able to be a teacher of this particular field yourself and make consistent profit. So let's go back to the main video. Market, like the way everything I mark is just support. I wasn't paying attention to resistance. Okay, I'm not saying resistance is not important. As in, imagine if I had sold here, for example, you can see the market drop. Okay, or if I sold here, you can see the market drop. But what thing is, the reason I am buying or focusing on buying is because the fundamentals out there support only buy opportunity. That is why I'm drawing only support. So whatever your fundamentals tell you is what you should rely on. If your fundamental, take for example, when there is tariff and there is fear in the market, there is serious fear in the market, in those periods you want to be looking for sell, because the fundamental tells you that the market is there is fear in the market, so investors are putting their money into safe haven assets instead of risk assets like or the stock market, for example. So you'll be selling, and as you can see, you make more money. But now Trump made at some point made some kind of agreement with China when it comes to tariff, which brings about positivity into the market, and people started buying. I think that was the reason I bought this market, and it jumped up afterwards. Okay, I think that one is here when they meet at Genevieve, Geneva or so, when US government and the China government meet to discuss how to de-escalate the tariff war. That was when I think I took this trade. But before then, I already took this trade because there was already a sucker coming in when it comes to tariff of the thing. So I took a buy here. So you will see that my drawing of support is based on the news. If I see anything now, for example, let's say for example when there was, now look at this, this is a resistance basically. Okay, this is a resistance. Okay, this is a resistance. Ordinarily a lot of people will want to sell, but if you sell here, maybe you make this small profit. If you try to sell the second time, okay, you can't even sell here, for example, because this is the first touch. Maybe you wait for the second touch, and if you try to sell, you can see what happened. The market just move a little and then start going back, and then probably by now it would have hit your stop loss. Now, why is it so? The reason why somebody like me will not obey this resistance is because I see more the fundamentals in the market is pointing more to bullish momentum, bullish run, than resistance, than sell. So if you try to sell, so for me it is not ideal to sell. So this is why you don't just draw support or resistance, or you don't just trade based on support or resistance. You want to factor in what is actually going on in the market. You know, you want to understand what is going on with the real what the real investors are doing. Are they trying to buy? Are they trying to see what are they looking at? What's going on? What's their bias? So their bias right now is more bullish, although there are still fear of tariff. But the fact that countries are beginning to negotiate that tariff is going to definitely give the market some push to the upside. So, and that is exactly what you are seeing. And some of the economic data that are coming out positively. So, you selling is actually very risky here. So this is why, because a place is a resistance doesn't mean you should sell, and because a place is a support doesn't mean you should buy. You want to make sure that you combine the setup with what is going on in the market. So what do I do? Why won't I sell here? The reason is, take for example, let's just click here and see US consumer credit up. Okay, job reports help boost equity markets. That is one news that actually boosts the market today. US equity index is right as resilient payroll validate Fed's patience with monetary policy. This is another reason why it is like that. But this is not what I focus on. On Saturday or Sunday, I usually come to Yahoo Finance and read what is actually there. Sorry, Yahoo Finance. Yeah, here we go. So I usually come to Yahoo Finance, try to understand where what the investors are thinking, what is actually going on in the market. That gives me the idea of where I should be looking at. So before you draw support or resistance, you want to make sure you understand what especially if you are trading US stock, if you are trading S&P 500, if you are trading Nasdaq, you are trading US 30. That is what you want to make sure you pay attention to. Not only that, even when you are trading currency pairs, take for example, the policies that are going on, is it going to affect the US currency positively or negatively? You need to understand that. Okay, so so here you can see some of the recent information. Musk is now at war with post SWAT of Trump's agenda. How the Trump Musk feud spark a 500 billion meltdown. Stock jump after job report as Tesla surge. Okay, these are some of the news. So I want to read and understand what's actually going on. Okay, Boeing prepares to resume plane delivery to China as tariff war eases. You can see this is one good information. This is 7 minutes ago. Oil rises as solid US job data pushes this. Okay, so now you may consider buying oil. So these are some of the information. Retail traders scoop up Tesla. Oil gas fall for 6 weeks. 6 reasons for. So here are some of the news that you want to pay attention to. You just have to read and then go through and understand the view, okay, and understand what is actually going on. So take for example here, Boeing this is actually very great. This is actually great news, and this is just to tell you that the tariff is probably coming. Things about the tariff is actually coming down, and we just have to take advantage of that. So this is one of the reasons why you have to read and understand what is actually going on in the market before you take trade. Okay, you don't just want to take trade based on technical analysis alone. Okay, so yeah, basically that is how you want to pay attention to support and resistance. Support and resistance to market the way it is. This is a resistance, okay, where market has turned there. This is a support where market has actually bounced off. So but when you are doing that, you don't just want to do it based on the fact that market is at a support zone or is at a resistance zone. You don't want to take decision based on that. You want to make sure you factor in what is actually going on in the market, like what are the investors doing? Are they buying or are they selling? All right, I believe this video is helpful. Try to like and subscribe for more of this video. All right, so see you in my next video.